I want to quickly talk to you about Discover versus Avant versus Achieve personal loans. And so here are the loans I want you to really think about. First of all, let me talk to you about Discover. When you think about Discover, I want you to think about a lender that's actually better known for its credit cards. A lot of folks know Discover for credit cards, but it is actually a great personal lender, also personal loan provider. They used to give business loans and business credit cards back in the days, but now they have actually exited out of that program. So they focus way more on individual, like let's say loans to consumers. Okay, so when you think about Discover, think about $2,500 to $40,000. So you're looking at $2,500 to $40,000 minimum credit score for a Discover loan this year. It's around 600. So if you have a FICO score of 600, you could actually qualify for a Discover personal loan, no problem. And also in terms of the repayment window, Discover is pretty flexible. So you are looking at 84 months maximum. So 84 months, that's about what? That's 7 years, not about. That's exactly 7 years. So you're looking at the 1 year to 7 years. So that's really good. And the cool thing about Discover here also is that you have no origination fee. So, because a lot of those lenders, they charge you an origination fee, like you will see with the Avant, Achieve, with SoFi, and so on and so forth. They charge you an origination fee, but Discover doesn't. So that's pretty good. And one thing you will love with Discover also is that loan funds may be sent to you by the next business day after approval. Okay. But on the flip side with Discover, the thing is that they do not accept co-signers. So if you have bad credit and you can't qualify on your own, that's really bad. You can't really rely on a co-signer. And also Discover charges a $39 late fee. So this it also can eat into your cash inflow. But overall, when you think about Discover, I want you to think about a pretty reputable loan provider that's been around for a while. Okay, everybody knows Discover. Everybody knows Discover for their credit cards. Excellent credit cards, by the way, and they're excellent customer service too. And that customer service is also present when it comes to personal loans. And the cool thing is that Discover really operates in all 50 states, so there is no geo restriction element here, okay? All 50 states in addition to the District of Columbia, so that's really good. And what I want to say also is that for you to actually apply for Discover, it's just better to go through the pre-qual process first. So you want to click on, you want to go to a Discover website or use the Discover mobile app and click on check your rate to see how much you could potentially qualify for. Okay, and the cool thing about Discover here is that the pre-qual feature is available regardless of the states where you are at. Okay, Discover has been around since 1985, so that's nearly 40 years. I mean, no, more than 40 years, by the way. And so that's really good. Nearly 50 years. Nearly 50 years. So when you think about Discover, I want you to think about a lot of possibilities. That's really important to think about it that way. And what I want to say also is that you can also do the pre-qualification on the phone. So you can call 866-248-1255. So 866-248-1255 to actually get the process started. If for any reason you do not want to go through the website or you do not want to go through the mobile app, you have the possibility to actually to pre-qualify for a Discover personal loan over the phone. But overall, the process is pretty straightforward. Just make sure you have a way to justify the loans, and you also have a means to repay the loan, because they're going to ask you your source of revenue. You don't have to have necessarily a job, but you got to have a source of revenue to actually repay the loan that you are about to get through Discover. Okay. But again, as I said a little earlier, you can rest assured that with Discover, you are in good hands. You know, they've been doing this for not 50 years. I said 50 years a little earlier. It's 40 years. Okay, so they've been doing this since 1985. So that's 40 years. And the company is actually headquartered in Illinois. But yeah, pretty great company, great customer service. So for personal loans, fantastic. So $2,500 all the way to $40,000. Next, I want to talk to you about Avant. So when you think about personal loans this year, think about Avant. Let's talk about Avant here. So with Avant, you actually have like a pretty good lender. Okay, a good lender that can help you with all kinds of loans. So Avant's selling point is not its low rate, that's for sure. So if you already have good credit, you want to look elsewhere. Don't go with Avant. If you have good credit or better, you want to go with maybe you can have a Lightstream, for instance, a unit of Truist Bank. Okay, so but the cool thing is if your credit is not the best, Avant is one of the few lenders willing to work with you without charging you like a crazily high APRs. Okay, so when you think about Avant, think about a lender that will give you your cash real fast. You have quick funding timelines. You have lower credit requirements than most lenders. Avant can really consider you even if you have bad credit, like really bad credit, like around 500, 480 to 500. And Avant also has lower income requirements than most lenders. So this is really good. This could be appealing to some borrowers. Okay. On the flip side, Avant does charge high origination fees, something that Discover doesn't do. You have a relatively higher interest rates for people with good credit. They don't pay creditors directly for debt consolidation loans the way Happy Money does. They do not allow joint applications, co-signers, or collateral like Discover. Okay, and so Avant actually, unlike Discover, does have an element of geo restriction in the sense that Avant is not available in Hawaii, Iowa, New York, Maine, Vermont, or West Virginia. Okay, so this is something that you have to think about it. So if you are in those states, you're not going to qualify for a loan. Okay, but overall, when you think about Avant, I want you to think about a lender that can give you up to $50,000. Okay, and also one thing I want to say here is that you have the possibility to actually get your cash real fast. So you can get your cash within 24 to 48 hours. So that's really good. Maximum $50,000. So when you think about Avant, I mean, what kind of personal loans can you get through the company this year? Well, you can actually have home improvement loans to let's say fix or upgrade your living space inside and out. That's really good. You have debt consolidation loans to combine multiple higher interest debts into one loan. You have emergency loans to pay for surprise expenses like medical treatments or car repairs. You can have personal loans like for regular everyday expenses also. So that's really good. And but one thing I want to say here is that with Avant, you have the possibility to actually get your cash real fast. I think I've said this before, but I want to say it again. You have the possibility to actually get your cash real fast if you are approved. Let's say here's a lender that actually can fund you real quick. It's able to offer next day ACH deposit. So if you are approved before 4:30 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, you can get your cash the next day real fast. And one thing I want to say also is that Avant wants you to have a minimum monthly income of $1,200. So that's basically, like 14,400 a year. That's gross income, by the way. And the maximum debt to income ratio that Avant will work with is 70%, which is really high, by the way. It's really high and it's really accessible to most borrowers out there. So that's really good. It's really a pretty great point to consider. Okay, so with Avant, you have the possibility to actually have to call. So they're available 1-800-812-5407. They're available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central, Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central. Okay. You can also chat. So you can chat and go to avant.com, log in and chat, or you can just email support@avant.com. Okay. So this is something to really think about. And one thing I want to say overall is that when you think about getting a personal loan from Avant, kind of similar to Discover, you want to first pre-qualify. You want to complete the pre-qualification form. You want to complete the loan application for real, and you want to make sure that you read the fine prints before signing on the dotted lines and actually receiving your cash. let's talk about the third player into this conversation. You have Achieve. Okay. Now, when you think about Achieve, sort of similar to Avant, you have $50,000. So Achieve is more. You have 50,000, but Achieve actually can go all the way to $100,000. By the way, so this is something that I really want you to think about. Even though at that level they want you to have a stellar credit history, so it's actually 1,000 all the way to $100,000. That's the interval within which Achieve works. Okay. And so you have APRs going from 8% to all the way to 36%. In terms of repayment window, Achieve will give you a loan where you are repaying within 2 to 5 years. Minimum credit score with Achieve 580 to 600, and in most cases the average is actually 620. Okay, but Achieve is a pretty good lender in the sense that you are able to get your cash fast too. Okay. And you can use Achieve for a variety of loan purposes, like you can consolidate debt, you can refinance high credit card balances, you can finance big ticket purchases, you can cover home improvement expenses, you can pay for medical and moving expenses, you can even fund vacations. So that's really fantastic. Okay. And the cool thing about Achieve is that they will approve you. Once they approve you, they will actually work with you to make sure that you are on the right path. Okay. And now there are actually some areas where Achieve personal loans stand out. So you have multiple rate discounts. You have the possibility to have Achieve pay creditors directly. So you can skip the hassle of receiving the funds only to immediately send them back out to other creditors by having Achieve pay them directly. And you also have joint loans. So unlike some online lenders such as Avant and Discover, Achieve allows you to add a co-borrower to your loan, which may increase the likelihood of you being approved and getting a better rate. So this is really cool. Now, the only thing is that basically you do have a high minimum loan amount. So the minimum amount you can borrow is actually $1,000 to $11,000 in Arizona, which is considerably higher than the minimum amounts for similar lenders. You do have an origination fee, so depending on the loan amount and repayment terms, you may be charged an origination fee between 2% and 7%. And you also have limited availability in the sense that Achieve loans are not available in every state, so you have to call customer service to see if they actually cover your state. But overall, when you think about Achieve, especially their customer support experience, fantastic. Okay, customer support is available by phone. I think I just said this to you Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. through 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and on Saturday and Sunday from 7 a.m. through 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And it also offers an online messaging option through the website, and you will select the topic you have a question about and leave the specifics of it along with your contact information within the form. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. And the cool thing about Achieve is that you have a lender that has really invested in its digital experience. So you are able to have a pretty good user experience either through the mobile app or through the website. Okay, so the application and pre-qualification process actually are housed on the lender's website, and everything is completed online. And so this is kind of comparable to other lenders in this space. You also want to make sure that you pre-qualify first. Okay, never go for a loan directly, because otherwise you'll just be jeopardizing your FICO score. You want to really see if you can pre-qualify first, get a quote. Okay, and you can do it online or through the mobile app, or you can even call a loan consultant, an Achieve loan consultant, that is. Okay, and so but to actually start, you want to enter your loan amount and purpose, and then your state, to check if Achieve operates where you live. If it does, you'll need to provide your name, employment status, income level, address, and date of birth to actually see if you could actually pre-qualify. And you also need to add information and finalize your applications depending upon the loan amount that you want. Remember, Achieve loans go from $1,000 all the way to $100,000. So Achieve versus Discover versus Avant. Which personal loan should you go for this year? Before you make a determination, it's important to understand that when you actually consider a personal loan provider, you have to look at availability, you have to look at affordability, you have to look at the customer experience, and you have to look at transparency. Let me break it down. When I say availability, if you see, for instance, Discover is available in all 50 states. Avant and Achieve are not available in all 50 states, which means that before you actually go with the lender, make sure that they are available in the states where you are at. Right? It has to be working for you. So check availability for sure. You also need to think about affordability. So when I speak about affordability, I'm speaking about all the fees, like the interest rates, the APR, the penalties, but also most importantly, the origination fee, which can go all the way to 10%. I mean, you saw Avant can charge you all the way to 10%, whereas Achieve is really charging you anywhere from 2% to 7%. So those fees also eat into your loan proceeds. So pay attention to that. And basically, lower rates and fees and fewer potential penalties results in a higher sort of FICO score over time. When you think about evaluating lenders, also think about customer service. So customer service, does the company actually give you a live customer service experience, or do you have to send an email and wait 1 or 2 days for somebody to get back to you? Or do you have to chat with someone on the phone? If you not chat on the phone, but chat, like have a live chat, or are you talking to somebody on the phone? Some lenders do not allow you to actually speak to someone on the phone, so that's a little problematic. So you also have to think about customer service hours, if online applications are available, and you have to see also how do you contact customer service in the first place. Also, you have to think about transparency. So you want to make sure your loan provider, your personal loan provider, is actually transparent. So you know how clear are they in terms of fees, in terms of let's say repayment windows, terms and conditions, and so on and so forth. So here's a selection here: Discover versus Avant versus Achieve. Which one should you go for? Our preference is Discover. So even though Discover gives you a maximum of $40,000, which is way lower than Achieve's $100,000 or even Avant $50,000. Discover is better in terms of customer service. Discover is better in terms of nationwide coverage. Discover is better in terms of business reputation. I mean, Discover has been around for 50 years, and they have a great reputation, not only in terms of customer service, but also for credit card provision. So Discover is good because if you are able to maintain a great relationship with Discover, you can actually get their credit cards at a very good rate with a higher limit as well. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Discover versus Avant versus Achieve. So I spoke to you about the loans, the specs, the selections, and the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.